Hey yo, what's up, wrestling fans? My name is Aaron, and this is Wrestling by Waldridge. And today I am joined by Barry from Nonstop Wrestling Chat. How you doing, mate?
Man, I'm fantastic. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad at all. Thanks for coming on the channel for doing this. This is obviously the second episode of Legacy Sessions, where in today's video we're going to be going over what we think are Scott Hall / Razor Ramon's greatest matches. So we'll be picking 3 matches each, and then we'll be answering 5 questions regarding each match. First of all, though, Barry, just wanted to let the viewers know a little bit about your channel, so just let them know sort of what you do.
I pretty much upload daily, most of the time, daily wrestling content, reviewing the current shows, watch-alongs of classic shows, and it's pretty much just me shouting about wrestling, about how how bad it normally is or how good it is. Generally, it's been bad recently. So
got some great runs on Monday Night Raw for sure. Yeah, definitely.
I need to clip those, man, and put them together just at the end of the year like a rant fest, because it's just a lot of times it's me shouting on a Tuesday about Raw.
Oh, it's great stuff though, man. Love it. Yeah, definitely go check out Barry's channel, guys. Like, he does awesome content. I watch pretty much all of his videos, to be honest. It's great stuff. Definitely check it out. So, should we get into this then?
Of course, man. What better way to bring in Scott Hall than talk about somebody that a lot of people forget is a great wrestler?
Yeah, man, definitely. It's just not someone that people sort of go on too much about, is it? But going back and watching these matches, he's got some bangers in there, to be fair. You know, a couple of absolutely iconic. Before I get started as well, obviously you're wearing something quite special.
I'm on diamond stud t-shirt. Got it for my birthday. Felt good.
Love it. It's great stuff. Okay, so we'll start off with one of my matches, and that is Razor Ramon versus Jeff Jarrett from Royal Rumble 1996. So why I think this match is one of Razor's greatest matches is actually quite an underrated match. Quite an underrated matchup, I think. It's not really one that too many people talk about too much. But obviously, it was at the height of Razor's babyface run. Obviously, a heel for most of his career, but I think a lot of people forget that he was actually a really great babyface as well, as seen in this match. Another match for the Intercontinental Championship, quite synonymous with his career. And I just thought this match told a couple of really great stories. Obviously, I think the first half of it kind of showed how Jarrett kind of had Razor's number, I think, tried to sort of outsmart him and use a lot of heel tactics. And then that kind of went into the second half of the story after Razor got counted out and he injured his leg. And then obviously the referee restarted the match and Jarrett just went straight after the leg. A really good submission tease in the figure 4 leg lock. And then Razor goes to the Razor's Edge, but he's not able to do it because of his leg. Jarrett rolls him up and then wins the match. I just thought it was a solid all-round match. Did you get to check this one out, Barry?
Man, it's the first time I've ever seen that match because I'm not a big Jarrett fan. I don't know why. I just can't stand the guys in ring work. I just avoid it at all costs. But
I'm kind of the same. Yeah.
It was a good match. I loved the way Hall looked with the yellow kind of stuff. His babyface run is something that everybody always forgets, but it is a great run, like you just says. But the match was really good. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, definitely. It was good. Yeah, like the thing is with Razor, I think he's just that. I mean, he was a babyface, but he seems more of a tweener, isn't he? He never really changed his character. He's still the bad guy. He's still throwing the toothpicks and all that. So, so obviously the second question is what was my favourite moment of the match? And for me, I loved the finish of this match. I just thought it made a lot of sense in terms of the story they were trying to tell with Razor's leg when he gets him up to that Razor's Edge. It was just so good to see that that they took that into consideration for the finish, and then for Jarrett to just roll him up. It's just a great finish for a heel. So, yeah, I think that's definitely my favourite moment of the match. Did you have a favourite moment at all of this one? If you remember any?
I wouldn't say I had a favourite moment. As I said, I'm not a big Jarrett fan. Just any time that the Razor's Edge always looks cool when it gets hit, so I enjoyed that. But I wouldn't go out my way and say it was my favourite match.
No, that's fair enough. So we're going on what I think is the best element. So obviously we're going off the elements that I use in my top 5 matches of the week. So that's story, psychology, work rate, excitement, and match structure. And for this one, I'd probably say my favourite part of it was the psychology of the match. I just thought, I know we've said we have not too keen on Jeff Jarrett, but I think what something he does do is he makes you just hate him. Like every time he'd get the better of Razor Ramon, and then he'd just go into mock the crowd or he'd do his little strut. Yeah, just great heel psychology, I think, from Jarrett, and it really made Ramon seem like that great baby face to get behind for me. Obviously, I've talked about the finish. That was really good psychology. I just thought Razor sold that leg really well as soon as he injured it. It did look like a legit injury. To be honest, I probably should have checked, but I can't remember if it was legit or not. But I tell you what, if it was a work, then fair enough. Yeah, he did a good job of it. And I think so. The fourth question is what this meant for Razor's career, and we kind of touched upon it at the beginning. And I think it just shows how versatile that Razor is. That he's able to portray a face just as well as he can a heel. And I just think, I think that's what it meant for his career, that he could play either of those roles really well. And I think for me to rate this match out of 5, I'd probably give it like a 3.5, 3 3/4. Do you know what you'd sort of give it? I know you're not overly keen on it as much as I am, but
I'd probably give it a 3. Like, me saying I don't really like Jeff Jarrett is obviously just, he's a great heel. Like, he's so easy to hate. It's like Baron Corbin just now. He's so easy just to hate. Like, you just want to hate him for no reason. But probably 3 stars, 3.5, something like that.
Yeah, something along those lines, definitely. So that's that one. So did you want to go into your first match?
Yeah, man. So it's going to be my one of my favourite matches from WCW, which there's a lot because I love WCW. But Scott Hall versus Sting, uncensored, 1998. Why it's one of my favourite matches? Just because I'm a big Sting mark. Everybody knows that I'm the biggest Sting mark in the world. He's my favourite wrestler. He got me into wrestling. But I love the NWO stuff and all that. Like the way it was just built up. The kind of the Dusty stuff there as well. When Dusty was at the side of the ring, it was so fun to watch. And just both men put on a really good show. Like it was just like a fun match. Like surprisingly good for that time for Scott Hall in '98 and then Sting as well. You just think it wouldn't work, but it was just a fantastic, enjoyable match. And I think it was only like 15 minutes. It wasn't like a long.
Yeah, it was quite short.
It was just because when it finished, I was like, "Is that it done? Or is it no more happening here?" But it was a fun match. But favourite kind of moments for me would be the ending when Hall was going to go for and I just keep calling it the Razor's Edge. What was it called in WCW? Yeah. Was it just the same or?
I actually don't know.
They didn't say it in commentary. They just went Hall's going for his finisher, and I was like, "What's it called?" But
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, if you guys know, let us know in the comments section.
I said Razor's Edge. That's what we're going to call it. So he was going for that, then Sting reverses it, and it was just like a cool kind of ending to the match. Like it was a fast, easy ending. It made sense, and like everything that Hall does in his career, he elevated Sting that little bit more as a world champion. That's Hall was really good at getting people over instead of from getting his. Like he did. I feel like everybody says he should have been a world champion, but he was just good at making world champions, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think when a lot of people talk about wrestlers, the best wrestlers who were never world champion, no one really ever says Scott Hall's name, but I think he could definitely be considered as one of those guys for sure.
Definitely. Yeah. The other thing that I liked as well was the Hall and Dusty with his manager. So when Dusty Rhodes was Hall's manager, that whole gimmick was just so fun because the two of them just looked like they just were just there to drink beer, have a good time, and weren't interested in what they were doing at all.
Yeah. I think another thing about this match as well is how much the crowd were into Hall, like into the end of the road. Because obviously it was quite a new thing back then, and it's just something different, wasn't it? And I think it was just against the establishment. So
I think it's just against the same stuff. Like it's what everybody's. See if they had an NWO style thing today and went against what wrestling's trying to push down people's throat, would make an insane amounts of money, but WWE wouldn't do that. The three elements, I had to pick two elements because I couldn't get it down to one, which is psychology and excitement. Excitement because the fans were full scale, like just behind everybody in this match, and psychology because they played off the fans being into that. Dusty played the manager role very well. Sting obviously was coming up was going to win, but it made Scott Hall really made it feel like he was going to get the win, and then Sting got it. So it made Sting feel vulnerable that the NWO could get to him, because obviously he's been booked as this, like, you're never going to touch Sting. And then it also made Hall feel like he could play that main event part, which is what I feel it done for his career. But again, it made Sting look better than what it did actual Scott Hall, which is, that question was so hard the whole time, because Scott Hall, like, he always seems to be always giving stuff from the matches instead of him taking it.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Yeah, no, that's some great points there for sure, definitely.
Rating wise, I gave it a 3.5 because it was enjoyable, but I feel it was a little bit too short. If it could have been 25 minutes, maybe it would have been a little bit more fun. But it's been it was a short. If you just want a fun, good, easy, short match to watch, go check it out.
No, yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think I would give it 3.5 stars as well. Just a really solid match, to be honest. Both guys wrestled well, they worked well. Yeah, the crowd were into it. It was enjoyable. Nothing more natural, really, is it? A Sting, gotta love it.
I think the worst thing for it is because it was a world title match, and it was like one of the main matches on the card, and it's only like 12 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that, and it was like, that's what makes it feel underwhelming, but it was a good match, but
Sting and Razor, they always felt on a good show. So okay, so we'll get into my second match then, and that is Bret Hart versus Razor Ramon from Royal Rumble 1993. I thought this was a really great match. I thought it told a really great story with Bret going after the leg of Razor Ramon mainly, and with Razor going after Bret's ribs and his back area. This kind of happened for a lot of the match, like the first half of the match. I thought both guys had a really good chance to shine. And another little thing I liked about this match was how Bret couldn't get in the sharpshooter initially because of Razor's size, and they really played up to that. And then obviously in the finish where there was some nice pinning combination sequences, and this led into him finally getting on the sharpshooter, which was quite a cool finish from me. I thought the selling from both guys was pretty good as well. When they were selling their afflicted injuries, that was pretty good. Did get a little spotty towards the end, I thought, but it was good for what it was. I thought the pacing was pretty good. Not every match needs to go 100 miles per hour like it does these days. I feel like so many guys in today's age, they just rush everything. Whereas, these guys took their time to really sell everything they needed to. Crowd were really into it. I think this was the time when Bret Hart was just that sort of mega baby face at the time.
Yep.
Razor was sort of the guy that was coming up, hadn't really reached that level yet. I think it only debuted not too long ago before this, actually. I think they did debut in 1993, or 1992, sorry.